Matt's gonna love me. Look at all that burning action. Ew, yuck. It's probably going to be like 3 hours of free water.
Well guys, it is a bit of fun and games here. We were all harvesting down at the chickpeas where the cotton was last year, but yeah, it's just the stems there are still a bit green and causing header number one's blocking up. Header number two keeps skipping the chain on the feeder house, so decided everyone just had enough. So everyone's come up to do the chickpeas on the hill here where it's yielding a bit better and it's a little bit drier. So that is what is going on. Brad's making plenty of dust there. Phil's cutting out a contour there. So yeah, it's all happening. Should be yielding a bit better and a bit more bulk, but should be drier. Well guys, a bit of an update. Looking really good actually. The chickpeas are yielding very well compared to that block where the cotton was. Somewhere I think it's been between sort of 3 and maybe 3.5. I think it's done a little bit more than that in some patches, but that's tons to the hectare, so yeah, very, very nice. But I'm currently just getting a few spare parts for Phil. He's in the spot where there's a few rocks and that, so it's inevitable you get a few damaged knife guards and that, so I've just grabbed some spare parts for him, and I've also grabbed an 11mm spanner for that's for the knives, the little bolts that hold the knives on the front, and yeah, you might be able to just see it's engraved just there where my thumb is. It says PJ, I believe, which is Dad's. I think these tools were Dad's back when he did his trade. So that's going back, I don't know, probably 40 years, maybe bit over 40 years. So yeah, a bit of history. Try not to lose this one, I guess. So we'll catch up with him and see what we get to. So we've got to be very careful at the moment, because it is quite warm. It's going to be 39 degrees Celsius, I think they said today, but it could be a bit more or it could be a bit less, you never know. But yeah, we can see we've got the TDI water trailer there, and it's hooked up to the Land Cruiser ready to go. I've also got the water, there's 400 litres of water on the Coolerman chaser bin.
Yeah, I'll turn around, not feeding properly there, so I'll put her on.
So yeah, I'm going to have to help Phil shortly, but then we've got the other water trailer hooked up to one of Dad's utes up at the hill ready to go as well, so we're well and truly prepared. It's yeah, chickpeas are notorious for catching fire, so yeah, we just want to be on the front foot. So, and each header's got 2 or 3 fire extinguishers ready so they can act quicker, and yeah, anyway, hopefully we don't have to use any of them. So the red chaser bin here has just got a bearing that needs replacing. I did mention that a little while ago, but it we've taken the guard off there, and yeah, the bearing in behind there, which it's mounted on the inside, so you've got to undo that, pull the whole flight through, I don't know, maybe 100mm, and then replace that bearing. So it might be too tricky, but yeah, you'd have to undo those bolts and yeah, hoik it out, which we can do. Here's the man at the moment. You're refreshed. Oh, look at you, you're wired up. Does that make you feel real important?
I feel important.
Yeah. Look like you're ready to tell people what to do and where to go.
Yeah, no, I've gone inside there and I've had a bit of lunch and a recalibration. Cousin Ron rang this morning, you know, from down Adelaide.
Yeah.
He said, "What's the matter with you?" He says, "You look a bit grumpy on the videos I've watched recently." I thought, oh man.
Well, there you go.
I asked the boys and they said, "No, Dad, you're no different to me."
Yeah, usually grumpy.
So I'm gonna try and lift my game.
Yeah, lift it. Well, it looks like I'm chief experimenter today. So the plan is with this water trailer here now, because technically at the moment this isn't ours, it's just being loaned to us. We may end up purchasing this at a later date. It is a really cool bit of kit though. So we can't modify it too heavily. We already have, they just said to us basically we can modify it, but it has to sort of look good, obviously. Don't want to be trashing this. I guess they know what typical farmers do. So we have put a modification on here where we just put that T in there to yeah, be able to quick fill back through into the tank, or yeah, it just made that a little bit easier if we needed to fill from a tank. But the other thing is these are interchangeable, or a plate, like you can just pull these out, these little dribble bars or sprays. And what the goal is, got the wrong ends. How'd we get that wrong? Well, that's not going to work. Anyway, I'll be back. I've got to swap those ends over.
Well guys, we're still chugging along here. We're just hooking into our harder stuff here. It's probably the rockiest and the most down in a way. So we're just trying to go real steady, about 4.5 k's. And where they're leaning over, we're probably getting most of them, but I find just going a bit slower, if your fingers hit the rock, it lifts up over and doesn't damage them. They just sort of bounce. And then we've just got that storm right there. It's coming right towards us, that one. And I just saw a big lightning. They weren't really talking any rain today. So we will see. Yeah, we don't really want any dry lightning either. That'll make a bit of a mess. Already been lots of headers and paddocks go up this year, and I'd say we're probably only 50% through. The JD's pretty steady on the bin there. We're not really getting big tons an hour, 15 probably is what we're getting, just going this steady. But we just want someone on the bin so that if we do have a fire or a smoulder, we can come straight over.
Well guys, got distracted as usual, but came up here because I had the wrong fittings on those firefighting nozzles. And anyway, Dad was pulling this apart, so I just did that while Dad's working on those nozzles. And it all sort of happened really quickly. It was only like 15 minutes, that was off. I pulled that out and it all just happened a lot quicker than I thought. So yeah, I've just got to clean up this shaft in there and then put the new bearing on, zip it all up. Then we don't have to worry about that again. But there is a whopper of a storm just right there. I know it's spitting rain right now, so that might put an end to our fun and games.
This is a unique one because we got this, what, over 25 years ago. There's a guy from Toowoomba, just an engineer on his own. I saw it at AgQuip, and it had the head here had the little lid on it, which lets you see whether it's feeding the upright too slow or too quick. You can have a look, and you leave that lid just sitting there, and if it overloads it, instead of stripping your flights or your chains,
just pops out the top.
The lid pops open and lets it go, and you don't break anything. And it's been a fantastic, the best one.
This is for a it's sort of a one-off-ish, wasn't it? Like it was custom with the auger, size of the auger, and all of that. But it's done, I don't know how many tons, but the only troubles we had to start with is because you can't, with the slide in there, you couldn't leave that, particularly when we had the old Genesis tractor. If you'd left that slide open there, you'd bog the tractor down and you couldn't start the PTO. Then you had to drain the auger, which was like half a ton, to get it going. But with the 280 on here, it'll start anyway.
This one's got a high torque load at idle, whereas the old Genesis needed the boost.
So it's not as much of a problem with this, but you do start stripping out your shafts on your gearbox.
But 1 minute story with this.
Yeah, righto.
We got we had 2 headers. Do we get 2 chaser bins? We decided no, we'll get 1 chaser bin. I asked this guy.
This is back old headers. We had 2 old headers, an 8080 and a Tower 96.
That'll be right. And I said, how much extra to get a new bin and put a 24-inch auger on it to double the output? Because normally you roll up with the mother bin, takes you 5 or 8 minutes to unload. And my thinking was if we could get one, we had Brad then. You know what he was like on the
He
Chaser bin. He had everyone organised.
He hasn't changed.
No, well, he was running the show at a 16-year-old, which was great because if the Chaser bin just pulled up beside you on the header, you didn't even talk on the radio. You just put your thing out and filled him up because he knew what was going, he knew what he needed, and he just picked you up to keep it going. But my thinking was if we could pay an extra 10% to get double the output, it mean we only had the capital cost of one tractor and one labour unit, and we could keep two headers going. And so that's what prompted this big auger. It just meant that with a small Chaser bin, with very nimble, could get to and fro and service two headers
Well,
without stopping.
this is the biggest one you could get with single axle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So,
But no one was doing a 24-inch auger, and I asked Pat if he would design one. So we did a bit of R&D, and it's been a fantastic.
Paid off.
unit.
But that's the key is you can get away with two headers. You can get away with one Chaser bin if the Chaser bin's big enough to carry two full header loads and be able to unload within a header box full. Because that's what the idea of the Coolerman was. It's got the 24-inch auger too, but it's somewhat, it doesn't even have half the capacity of this.
I think it's spinning too quickly, the upright, and it just can't get into the centre, whereas this is very slow.
Yeah, well, this has got a double flight down the bottom. I think we actually put one on the Coolerman too. We welded one on. We did that ourselves, I think.
I don't think this has double flight, does it?
Yeah, that's double flight.
Okay, right.
And but the doors, the mechanism in there, like it just, the slide in there opens really.
But the whole thing worked on whether you could get the 18 tonne out in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Even if you couldn't pick up the second header,
You could get a little bit.
You could get him on the turn after you emptied into your other bin. So it worked really well.
So, but he doesn't do it anymore, does he?
No, I tried ringing him to say thank him and how good it was because it's been fantastic bin. And the mother bin.
If anyone knows, what was it, Pat
Brown.
Pat Brown.
And the mother bin we built, we got him to make the cross auger and outright, so that's why it looks the same.
Yeah.
So
right.
and it was flat packed, and we welded it and put it in.
And they're the two. They're that mother bin
Yep.
is the simplest, probably given the least trouble considering how many tons it's gone through because it doesn't have slides, it doesn't have anything. You just engage a PDO. It's perfectly balanced. It unloads quickly, but it's not stressful on the PDO at idle. It's
suited to the 555.
Yeah.
Because it's got a lot of torque. You can just ease it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting. Well, that was more than a minute, Dad.
Sorry.
Well guys, we had our rainstorm. It's just a mill, but just before the rain came, I smelled something. And we had a fire back here, so we've I think we've isolated all of it. There was one up there, it's burnt the wires to the engine, so it shut the engine down once we were out. But we're just keeping an eye on it. There was a bit everywhere really. So Matt's gonna love me. Look at all that burning action. Yuck. It's probably gonna be like 3 hours of free watering.
Well, guys, we got. A lot of wind, a lot of rain. Probably won't end up being a whole heap, but it's yeah. Hopefully there's no hail in it because that'd end the profits very quickly. I'm going to fly down, have a look, see if they need any help getting anything sorted down there. Well, guys, just having a harvest lollipop, and the reason is I'm about to get really dirty. So header 2 just had a fire under the engine and melted some wiring, which shut the engine down. So thankfully, because they got fire extinguished and the Chaser bin has water on it, the Chaser bin was able to pull up, and I'm assuming they've been using that to put it out. So the header's fine apart from a bit of wiring, I think. But again, rethink your life choices if you want to become an auto electrician. Anyway, we'll see how bad it is. Well, I was going to say, has Brad run away, has he? But
No, he even filmed it after he put it in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
giving
that.
you a job, Matt.
Yeah, thanks. Job security.
Yeah. A few harnesses to fix.
So we need to start having people follow the headers around with firefighting trailers.
Well, I'm glad I was
That was your
over
job,
there.
wasn't it?
I was fixing the auger up there,
Oh,
fixing the chaser bin. Nearly got it done. So I got to get up there, eh?
Or we could take the plate underneath.
Well, you
You can't even close the
right.
sits, can you?
That. There's about 3 spots.
How big of a fire was it? Hey?
Well, initially we didn't know it was up there. We saw it all down here.
Oh guys, do yourselves a favour and put a firefighting unit on your chaser bin.
Highly recommend. 9 kilo was very handy, but it was running out on
Well,
me.
I said to him, well, Brad in particular, I don't know if I said that, but you got fire extinguishers everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Another spare up there, another one up there.
But yeah, the fire extinguishers is first point of call while the chaser bin's coming to you, and then while the chaser bin's coming to you while the other firefighting trailers are coming to you. Righto guys, we had JD pull the floor out here, which gives us good access to the engine. Now this is what we're looking at. This is where the main culprit was. That's all the wiring. Now the main problem is that the plugs aren't damaged, which the plugs are up there and they're not damaged, so that's alright. I can deal with wiring, I can't deal with broken plugs or melted plugs, so could be a lot worse, but I'll get started. Righto guys, I got I think about 8 or 9 wires done out of the estimated 50 or more. It's just a long process, so I thought I'd time lapse it, but then I realised it's going to be a massively long time lapse, so I'll show you guys when I'm a bit further done. But you get the idea, just do 1 wire at a time, otherwise you risk mixing them up. So yeah, Brad reckons just cut them all off and join them up, and that's great if they're all different colours, but more than half of them are yellow. I'm about to hop out and have dinner. That's the one harness done. So that's all going to get tied together obviously, but that's so you can see the individual wires joined, redone. So once that's all taped up and split tubed again, you're barely going to notice that that was burnt. So yeah, but there is still that harness, there's still this harness, there's that harness, and then there's that big harness back there that I didn't see till before. So that is, yeah, that's a long time. Anyway, got to get done. About to have dinner and we'll be back. Righto guys, a new day. We all decided yesterday that we'd had enough excitement for the day. We all needed to go home, have a good sleep and come back and attack this the next day. So it is the next day and I'm here attacking it. So I've got to climb up my hidey hole. I don't know how this will work while being on camera, but it's shaft decks definitely make it a little more challenging. So, I don't know if I showed properly, but in here, this is where all the stuff from the end of the rotors come out and hit the beater. That's that thing there, and that flings it all over here, and then goes down and hits the chopper and goes out the back. Anything that comes off the sieves here, which you can see that, and we've got the plate down here that is usually up there covering all that, but and they come off the sieves and then goes down onto the shaft decks here. So that beater is what flings all the stuff that goes to the chopper, and it flings all the way down into there. So if that's not set up right, you can have a lot more straw coming through your shaft decks. So yeah, we've got this plate here, not ideal, but we're just using that so I don't damage the sieves. If you stand on the sieves or something, it'll be nasty. Anyway, so right, I'm in me hidey hole. So Brad got down here last night. He just spent half an hour. I said that someone could just pull apart all the wires and see what's been damaged. So there's the one, all that yellow and green wiring I did yesterday. And he looked through and he said on these other harnesses, there's not as much of them that's been damaged. So there might be another 21, 25 wires or something like that to repair. So yeah, it's not going to be all of them like it looked like initially. But yeah, we'll just suss it out. If any of them has been compromised, been too hot, you want to replace them anyway, but we'll see what we can do. Well, I think I'm up to my last burnt wire, that one there. I've already taped up those two harnesses just to get them out of the road, stop them being a big massive distraction while I'm trying to fix these ones. I've got to do that, then I just got to put a plug on these two wires that went onto the solenoid there. This is the battery cable to the starter motor. Now it's just the split tube that's melted on that. It doesn't look like, I've had a good look at that, doesn't look like it's damaged the actual cable inside. So yeah, then I've just got to solder some of these other ones, but I think that is gonna be pretty much it. Then it's just all tidy up. Righto guys, I think we're ready to check some fuses and fire it up if it's going to fire up. Now obviously I'm going to come back up here, split tube all this, tidy up all the wiring, mount it back up where it belongs. The little clamps there have melted, but I'll be able to secure them and that, but I think the wiring side of it is okay to try. I've got the new plug on there on the solenoid, new wiring to that. So I think we're ready to try. I'll climb out of this. Oh, there's a mess here. Big mess. Anyway, it is what it is. So it's nearly 11 o'clock. So far this repair has been a 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 hour repair. So that's where I was in there, all up in there. So all that wiring is just up. You can see that red one there burnt. So I'll get a test light. Oh, she's warming up. So Phil's over there going. So that storm we got yesterday did really wet up things. So a bit more than we thought. But anyway, it's good. We're going again. Header actually shut down while Brad was out looking around after he realised something was wrong, so it's a good chance could be fuses that have popped. So I'm just going to go through, check all these. So the easiest way to check is you just go both sides of the fuse. If they both light up, that's good. If one side lights up and the other doesn't, then it's not. If both don't light up, then it's probably on a circuit that doesn't require it. So there's a blown one there. I'll pop it out like that so I can come back to it. 3 blown fuses. Right, I'm going to fire it up, probably let it run for 5 seconds, shut it off and get down and around and have a look. I'll get someone to come and give me a hand tidying up and just checking over a few things, but I just want to see if it'll start as the main thing. Yep, she starts. That's good. That's good. I can start packing up. Righto. Well, I initially thought it would be an 8-hour fix. Turns out by the time I'm finished up here, it might be about a 6-hour fix. So that's a little bit better than we thought. But anyway, it should be going very shortly. We can all learn things. It doesn't really matter what colour a header is. They all yeah, susceptible to things like this at times. So we've generally had a really good run with the yellow ones as far as not having any major fires, but yeah, it's not to say they can't happen. So anyway, a bit more checking and we'll see. Hopefully everything's just working fine and we're good to go. Righto, I got Brad here, just gonna go forward and back a bit. Can't fire up the header part of it just yet because the floor's still there. The bolts for that are up at the main farm, up at the shed. So, but yeah, you can go forward and backwards a bit. Can do that. See if the auger works. Spit her out. So I've got the water tank on the chaser bins filled up again, so you always want to make sure you do that straight away. So this was the hard bit last night. We had storms everywhere, but the header wouldn't run, so we couldn't empty the grain from the header out. So we were hoping another storm didn't come through, which it didn't, thankfully. Looks like it's working. Well, with that storm, I think effectively we probably lost maybe 2 hours of harvesting time. So yeah, not a bad result all in all. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that's it. Righto, well, we're going to take that header, get it blown down thoroughly. Just yeah, starting the day again, obviously, and yeah, we'll see what happens from then on. But just before we close the video, guys, what I'm going to do, I'll quickly show you this. What I was halfway through doing and then got distracted. So this is all set up. These taps here have got that remote valve, so you can use the fob for that, but I won't bother. Actually, I do need that to run it. Probably what we will do eventually is, if we do purchase this trailer, what we'll probably do is bypass that, like make a manual override for that remote, just in case if something happens and it doesn't work. Yeah, we can just bypass that. So, but we'll have a look here. Test out this one. So the idea will be, you can have that facing like that, and you can light fires like that while driving along. And this one's Dad's adjustable one. So this is his invention. So you can shorten it up like that, or you can have it start spraying like that, or shorten it up out like that. So yeah, it's pretty useful. But anyway, there's a couple of our options. So that's pretty cool. Gives us it does just give us that option, so we're very happy. So guys, it's going to get busy again, so I'll leave the video here. Thanks for watching, guys, and we catch you in the next one.